I'm here, and I'm things. Yes, yes. Okay, so. I think I went live right as the funny hit started hitting me. Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is like exactly the screen that I left off on last time. I did touch Unity a little bit in between streams, but not as much as I should have because I hopped onto Pokopia. Okay, it's hard to put down, you know. Maybe maybe the way that I like have a habit of binging video games is maybe not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's okay. And also, look, I'm sure you've noticed I have actually updated this screen to look more pleasing, and I'm facing the camera now, and all that good stuff. Can I squish? No, I can't squish this. Not without, like, making it impossible to... Well, not without, like, creating empty space, I mean. But yeah, I have a new world to sit in. Perhaps a bit twee, but that's okay. It's okay. So I guess I can just, like, go for it, or whatever. Oh, but you know what? I am going to have to readjust the Blockbench window so that I can see chat somewhat on this. Whoops, I just moved all of the world. Yeah. I want to be able to see Blockbench and at least kind of sort of be able to see my stream chat. Just in case. There probably won't be anybody. Would it be good for engagement if I, like, pretended that I had people in my stream chat and, like, responded to things? The illusion would fall when, like, a spam bot or something eventually shows up and says something, and it has to show up on my screen in this currently invisible place. I mean, you know, I guess that's basically just what streaming is talking to myself part. So, like, it don't matter. Oh, that's not the... I should change this so that I look like I'm, like, actually doing things. That's incorrect. I think this is the one that I want. Okay, I didn't test this. We're just, like, too close to computer, I guess. How about this? How about like this? Is this helping? Is anything okay? Okay, that works. That works. That's not the troubleshooting that I was expecting to have to do on this stream, but you know what? That's fine. So I guess while I sort do some stuff here, I can ramble a little bit about what I've been trying to do in the, like, actual engine. Namely, I wanted to make sure that transitioning between areas works. Which, you know, opened up some bugs that I didn't know were there. The inventory system is giving me a lot of problems. Also, I don't like that shape that I had. Let's just start with the cuboid, why not? Okay, where are you in relation to this other thing? You're like nowhere. Okay, create cube from here. Create cube from nothing. Create cube from... You know what also I should do? I should, like, actually post about my stream happening. I keep forgetting to do that. I keep forgetting to do that thing that I think. You could say that this is, not using the focus timer as it's supposed to be used. Playing art for... playing art. I am kind of playing art. I'm playing shapes. That's right. I'm playing shapes, anybody. I did also kind of realize that I could, stream to YouTube, but I don't know if that's, like, actually, you know, worthwhile. Like, honestly, that seems kind of... I don't know if... I don't know how many people actually watch streams on YouTube. Like, maybe some would if it means that they, like, don't get as many ads, but I shouldn't have ads. I'm not, like, monetized on Twitch. So it shouldn't make a difference. Let's see. What can I do here? We could just, like, freestyle something, I guess. Just freestyle some sort of weird shape into, like... Maybe it'll look okay. I guess the way to do that would be like this. Or woodsy. No, okay, that doesn't make sense as the way to do that, but this will, I think. Can I extrude both of these at the same time? Yes, I can. This is the miracle of computers right now, what you're looking at. I can make two things extend at once. This is basically agentic AI. And we can stretch things out for fun. keep saying, I guess this area doesn't have to, like, necessarily make complete sense as, you know, a hotel. It can be a video game dungeon first and foremost. I mean, ideally, I guess, there's a balance that you want to strike, you know? I should probably just stick with using mesh-shaped cubes. But where are you? No, you're not there. I don't know where this is, so I guess we destroy it forever. It was born in the wrong place, so it's a problem. Really though, I guess it'd probably be smarter to just, like, duplicate this. And then... I don't know why that pivot doesn't, like, stick with the thing. Is there, like, an option I have unchecked somewhere that would make the pivot point follow, like, the thing the way that I would expect it to? I don't know forever, okay? Just kind of making a shape for fun, some sort of shape. I mean, this like right now kind of reads like there's just a chasm in the middle of this room, which there could be. That could be a way to make things happen in this world of ours. So what the heck was the plan again? You go through here, then I guess we probably... Well, we want this to be like a donut that rotates or whatever. I guess I could just real quick put some walls up in this zone. Inset, is that gonna work? Yes, that's gonna work just happies. That's gonna work happy smile, like. Cut like you again. And then we can thingies. Why are you still here? Loop cut menu. No, do that again. Do that again. Yeah, that door should be wide enough, I think. we can make it a little bit wider. I never did, like, measure the door asset that came with the more mountains. At least not in a way that, like, helps. Yep, that's a circular room, alright. This dungeon's totally gonna come out looking dumb. But that's okay. What would a smart dungeon look like, even? So, dining area, kitchen, the mysterious wheel, secret kitchen where they keep illegal food. Then you go around this way, and this rotates somehow at some point along the way. This can be your way, like, back, once I make a path back. And you go through here again, and then you... Well, actually, I guess I have to, like, would have to make a sideways path, because then you'd have to... You would lose access from this area this way. And then you go into whatever this is, into the Devil Abyss. Or maybe you go this way, inwards, and you find something cool. There we go. You know, I like to think of myself as like a competent level designer, but I'm not actually sure. Granted, I guess that's like, you know, subjective and all. Oh, that's a knife. Oh, I don't have the right tools because this is not a mesh. Sure, that's looking. I don't know if this'll make sense. I mean, the thing is, unlike in typical Zelda, we can, like, jump. And there are at least some variables about jumping that, like... Well, that's at least the initial plan. Who knows if jumping will remain such a learnable skill. A skillable learn. I guess all I would have to do is, like, give it, like, an upper limit or whatever. In fact, that's probably for the best, just so that I don't, like, have somebody figuring out a way to, like, jump out of bounds. I mean, even if this, like, upper-lower area doesn't make it into a one-way path, it does add some interest to the area. So it's probably fine and happy. We're not like... No, yeah, we have plenty of space. We have plenty of space. We're not even close to touching the first floor. Because I made the elevator stupid huge. For fun. Bebop, boop, boop, bop. Oh, I got the yawns. I've got the yawns. I've got the delirious. Oh, what'd you do there? Why'd you make spiders? It straight up smells like spiders in here. Yeah, that's not really what I want to have happen. I guess it would be better to just, like, make a little cube. I don't know how to make a dungeon, I only know how to make a Super Mario level. Why I'm holding shift right now, which I would expect to make it, like, snap to certain angles, but this is the angle that it's decided to snap to. It might have to do with... But no, the top isn't smaller than the bottom. At least not on this side, so I don't know why it's doing that. It's okay. We can just be very careful about the shapes that we... I wasn't expecting that to make that. Okay, I'm just gonna, like... I'm gonna use some dang cubes. I'm just gonna use some dang cubes for fun. Now where to come to? Over here is where it is. know how flush, like, things have to be to each other before there's like a visible seam between them. Like, I want to avoid Z fighting. But I don't know how to avoid that without, like, everything literally being one shape. Let me just brain a storm. Let me just storm a brain. Maybe this is just because this is a blue color, but it did make me think of like a cold storage, since we're doing like the food making area of this building. And then it comes out into a regular hallway with a regular door. Everybody can be like, what the hell? You can just walk into the freezer? Well, maybe you can't, because I have put this little partition here. Perhaps that partition could be on purpose. Perhaps we can make our foolish little concepts done for a reason. And give me an excuse to have at least a couple of ice element based things in this area. I've kind of been thinking this could be sort of like a water temple, like a water themed Ed dungeon. At least sort of. Like, if I had to ascribe an element to it, like, it's not, like, front and center, but, you know, the theming exists if you're there to dare to look. I guess we can have a cold storage that looks like that. Oh, yeah. It's time for break. It feels like it's been, like, an eternity. But, yay, it showed Quirtle first try, and I'm not getting scared about anything else potentially showing. Crane. Thump. Boils. Prize? Yeah, okay. Sniped that one, easy like. Don't know what the rest are. P-L-E... Those are just the letters that I know. In the top right one, not the letters that I know in general. Yeah, it's weird. They taught me the alphabet PLE first. I guess rock is a word. Damn, that was a big snipe. I barely even know what that word means. Glep. Whoops. Information can be used for ads experience. Yeah. Tell that to my ad blocker. Weapon. 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 I guess that could be Cliff. Okay, it's Cliff. Awesome. My awesome Cliff. Now we have 3 more to get through this last one. And we still only know P, L, and E are in it somewhere. Welp. Welpy. I mean, I know it's not this, but that might help us, like, get some intel. Ends in L. But it doesn't have a second L. It could be expel. I think that... Yay! It expel. Now tell me what frock is. I'm pretty sure it's a garment. An outer garment worn by monks and friars. It would help if I could seize it. Yeah, okay. That debatably helps. I don't think I saw a monk or friar in there, but I am kind of scared to scroll through. I probably should at least be scared to scroll through images. I don't know if I have, like, you know, safe search on. Even if I did, honestly... I think I see what the top right one is already, but break time is over, so I legally can't see what's happening anywhere ever on Earth. You know, now that I think about it, though, this is, like, probably a pretty good, experiment in terms of if I can just freestyle a dungeon out of my, creationable. is that something that I can do? And potentially recreate? Or will I have to plan things out harder in the future of this world? Time shall tell us these things, and when it does, whatever happens will probably somehow be humiliating for me, but that's okay. That's okay. You can make fun of me, you can call me lots of things. I'm imagining there being like a hole in the wall here. And that being how we find a world over here. Weaken this and have a little bit of upwards. Yeah, that can be jumped up easy. It's not so problems. Although it is strange how this is a thing that's happening to me in my world. What if I just, like, add another cube and have that be the world upward? Do you like my cube? Do you cube my like? Where'd it go? Here you are. My cube, my cube, my cube. My cube, you're in the wrong spot, my cube. I'm scared of that forever. I'm cubed by that for never. I'm rubed by that forever. I'm cube. we can, I guess, do something like this. This is like two separate meshes. I mean, thingies. And the bottom looks bad, but like it doesn't matter. I can see it from there. I can still fix it, but you shouldn't care that I'm doing that. You should think that it's lame and dumb that I'm doing that. You should make fun of me on the internet for that, okay? You can call me many names. And then maybe this could be a good way to have the player return to the first floor somehow. And what would they do there? I don't know. Obeldo. I guess that would line up pretty well here. You could go right to the orange. What shape is the... I guess that's a hexagon. It's a very oblong hexagon. But it's allowed to be a hexagon if you want it to be. I can't believe I said, what shape is this live on stream? Also, I'm gonna have to put walls up on this area. And that's simply scary. Dracula. Okay. You know what, it might be better to, like... Actually, I could just, like... I'm not finishing my sentences very well, but I can just, like... extrude things a little bit around the edges, and that'll be perfectly fine. Well, I guess that, like, kind of sort of is cutting off the corners. Will it make a difference? Is that enough space for the player to clip through? I suppose we will have to find out in space. I feel like my shift key is being more cooperative. Actually, it was probably the control key that was giving me issues, right? I don't even remember. The shift key was definitely like part of the problem, but I guess it wasn't the problem. See, that's like... that functions, but I gotta figure out how to cut out the door. So I do have a plugin in this in Lockbench. That adds some of the tools that are like Unity stuff, or not Unity, Blender stuff. And I know that one of those, it might not be showing up here because I would need to like select two meshes or whatever. One of them is the ability to like boolean of meshes, like make it so that I can use one mesh to cut a hole in another mesh or stuff like that. Time doesn't know. It does feel a little bit jank the way that it does it, but I mean, beggars can't be choosers or whatever. Whatever platitude works. Cheesers can't be choosers. Always beezing and doozing and never cheesing or choosing, and always beezing and doozing and never cheesing or choosing. At the very least, I should probably do this room before the concept of, like, this here being a hole in the wall is lost to me forever in this world. Can I extrude 2 at a time? Yes, I can, and they even stay connected. Can I extrude 4 at a time? Yes, I can, and they even stay connected. Okay, I guess that simplifies that significantly. Simplifies that significantly. Yeah, sure. Loop cut, perhaps? That's probably the correct. But I also will probably want, like, that way to be a bit more jagged and uneven, so I should also be do something like this. Yeah, I should be do's. That's definitely like... Oh, but it didn't happen here on this side, though. That could be a problem. I feel like I'm just, like, talking like Homestar Runner now. It is kind of crazy how much that series has, like, just completely changed the vocabulary of, like, people of my generation. For the better, of course. Whoops. Lots of things happened that I didn't want. Always beezing and doozing and never cheesing or choosing, and always beezing and doozing and never cheesing or choosing. I'm pretty sure that that one specifically that I'm referencing is like somewhat recent. Like, it's not an old classic, it's like one of the rare post-hiatus ones. So, like, clearly they still got it. That's tall enough, right? Yeah, we're only like roughly this tall. There should be plenty of height. So we can just make this area here kiss. Smooch. Kiss. And we make some changes to the UV so that it's happy. Why is this uneven? Is a question that I have. It's still slightly off. No, that looks a bit too even. It's gotta look vaguely like the world is falling to piss. Yeah, that's piss enough. I should also maybe think about textures before I get like too far into the world. Or maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe it'll be fine to just texture everything once it's done. We'll see. We'll find out. Who knows what this world says. There's 5 minutes left on my timer. That's scary and confusing forever. I can use this, I guess. That's fine. That's how it looks. You know, though, one thing that I should be, like, concerned about is the scale of the area. This room looks like a good size for the size of the player that we have. Is everything else also good? Like, this room is smaller, so, like, that's probably not a problem. some of these rooms feel slightly sweeping, big sweeping. Cause like I remember, like when I took a second look at that, like test of the overworld that I imported, it did feel kind of bigger than it needed to be. Well, I guess the overworld isn't done, so I can edit that or just make sure that areas after that aren't so big. I don't really know what to do about this. I mean, I guess I could make it a way to the downstairs. I'm already thinking that that's what I should be doing here. I'm already thinking this makes most sense. Do I think... No, what... Do I imagine that these floors will be like this in-engine, or will there be like a scene transition between them? Like, am I thinking of the dungeon being like what you would expect from A Link to the Past? Or maybe something more like how in Breath of the Wild you can just fall downward. That's a weird-ass sentence. Nobody should let me talk. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick and think about what I said and reflect. Whoops. And reflect on the fact that I just, like, slapped my mic. Going to problems forever. I'm back, and I have forgotten everything that I was talking about before leaving. But that's okay. It, yes, be, is. So, oh yeah, I gotta unpause my timer. We're almost done with this focus session though, so like, whatever. What do I do? What was I doing? I've like krilled all of my momentum by going to the bathroom. Well, you know, I can think about it. We can think about it for lots. And I'll just preemptively start showing Wordle Quirtle. Hang on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Quirtle New Year. Okay. That's what I was thinking that top right was. And it is that. Good. Let's see then. Those are the letters. Is that, well, it's not Slurpee. That's supposed to have 2 P's, isn't it? It could be spool. Okay, it's spool. That gave us basically nothing for top left and bottom right. That is a word. Okay, it's probably sever. You can, like, type some uncommon-ass words here, but the answer is usually, like, a lot more common. W-E-I-R-D... Is it weird? Is it weird? It's weird. Sever mulch spool weird. That's the weekly challenge done. And we still have 3 minutes and the final 15-minute break. What do I do with this information? Like, what could you possibly do during a break that isn't Quirtle? There's nothing left. There's nothing left, Seymour. His grabby hands. Whoops. gotta come up with something. I should try and entertain, although there's only like a minute left, so it probably don't even matter. At least come up with something to ramble about for 1 minute. Foyer. I could pull up a different sort of puzzle. Yeah, like a nonogram. We can do this, and it covers this, and this is this, and this is this, and this must be this. Yeah, that was 20 seconds. We have time for at least another. We do like this, we do like this, we do like this and this. What left is there even? I guess this. 17 seconds. Has this website been updated? The UI looks better. Or at least, like, smoother. Hang on. Hang on. This one's hard. This one is hard. 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4, 3. I mean, geez, I feel like I have to, like, guess. No, but this can't be like... So this has to be like this. But this has to... Okay, we got there. We got there eventually. Alright, back to the thingy. I'm kind of like just completely disregarding the sorting of things into folders or whatever. But that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so let me just run through this in my head. Go like this. Let this room rotate, then you go downward. Then you can go back up and I guess go like this through here into whatever is on this side. What would be on this side of this revolving room? It could be a staircase to the next floor, and there's like some stuff that you have to do up there. I think I kind of like that thought, actually. Should I... you know what, I didn't bother to put the walls up in the main room on the first floor. I can wait. Ah! Sorry. I'm thinking that on this third floor, which will probably be the top floor, adding a pool area. As dumb as it might sound for there to be a pool on the third floor, it's okay for this to be a bizarre and strange and hated by many in Earth. Just gotta clean up the duplicates. A clean slate for us to draw a pool. What is this? Oh right, that's the connective tissue between two rooms previously. Yawn. Yawn. Make this a slightly different shape for fun. I guess we can just start putting cubes in places. Also, I know I'm like being lazy about the things, but I'm not so lazy that I can't rename this to third floor. think we put a mini boss in the pool area. But how big should it be? Let's grab our character. Yeah, this is probably a bit too large. Now, what's the best way to... What's the best way to make this part happen? You know, I do also, like, have to worry about water, how I'm gonna handle water in engine. That is just, like, an inevitability, though, so I guess I don't have to be so scared. Silence the lower floors. Silence the low... Okay, what is this then? Okay, I just failed to silence the lower floors then. Whatever. Longer than it is. Maybe, I mean, if it needs to be the other way around, then I can just, like, you know, rotate the whole thing once it's done. We're slightly inside of each other. Can we get them to line up perfectly? What's the exposition on this? Yeah, that's probably the problem. Okay, well that merged those vertices at least. Okay, we got a big ol' rectangle. And yeah, I guess since we're, you know, the game is in this kind of screen, you know, a regular shaped screen, we should make it wider instead of taller. I guess I can always zoom the camera out if I feel like I need to, like for a certain area. Well, I say that, but I don't know how to do that. I can always figure out how to do that. I can always figure out many things. So what else? I mean, you know... The hell? I'll need to think of things that make sense to be in a pool type area. We could do an inset selection so that we can, like, give some of this an outdent. Not sure what's going on over here. I'm too scared to find out, so whatever. I feel like I've been saying whatever a lot this stream. Looking so strawberry banana. Okay, this will bother me. What is happening here? I don't think... what'll happen if I delete this face? Absolutely nothing. Okay. It's just there for fun, I suppose. So I'm wanting the player to get to floor 3 slightly early by this. Where should you go up? Maybe there's a little, like, room over here that you enter first. And that's like, you know, your introduction to... That's like the little rest area before you fight the mini-boss. That is the pool creature. The thing, what lives in pool? It makes perfect sense if you have my brain. So let's go ahead and add a new cube for anybody. It'll be the room that's like, you know, it's like that sentence was utter nonsense, wasn't it? The context is, that's the song in the before boss areas from Kirby Triple Deluxe. Sorry, I'm brainstorming. My brain be storming. What should I put in this area? It's so scary a question. Changing room, perhaps? Or would it make more sense for that to be on a different side and not the one that you go to from the weird donut room? It could be an unintentional exit, like maybe there's like another different hole in the wall and you're like get there through climbing stuff. Hi, Bado. So let's just focus on something else so that I don't perish. So you head up there. You head up there, you fight the mini boss in the pool. And then what? I guess then you have access to this area over here and most of the second floor. Unless maybe I want to make like this area cut off. Really? I'm on the final break? Well, I mean, I did my weekly Quirtle, so I don't have much to do. I may as well at least finish this line of thinking. I was probably having so much damn dead air before. So, let's see. You can end up here. Maybe you're exploring this area and you're cut off from here, which is where the elevator is. Maybe you have to find some kind of key that will let you go down, backtrack to the second floor, and let you go up. I mean, we've kind of already done the... You go down so that you can go back up. It's probably not so bad to do it again. Whatever. One thought that I did have that I probably won't be able to do because it's probably too, like, resource intensive or whatever, or like complicated to figure out how to make happen, is like you drain this pool and then it floods one of the lower levels. I mean, what good would that even do? How would that help you solve any puzzles? Like, what about this floor would make it easier to solve a puzzle if it's all wet? Probably nothing at all. So the pool might just have to remain a pool. I mean, I don't know. We are, like, starting with, like, the movable rooms as a gimmick, and I still haven't, like, done a whole lot with that. Well, aside from the donut is definitely a movable room. And is this, but this one doesn't rotate, it translates. Honestly, it could, this, like, could just be redundant. It might not add anything to have this, like, little room here. Or at the very least, it might not add anything to have this room be movable. The donut room, at least, like, you know, there's clearly something there. You have to visit it multiple times, so it's like a reasonable gimmick. Maybe you should have a reason to go back to the donut room. So far, every room that I've contemplated making movable has been at the center of the dungeon. Maybe I should make it so that every room in the center can rotate? And that then will do something to this? I don't know. I can take some more time to brainstorm. Like, obviously there's not really any room to rotate. Actually, I have another room here. Make this into, like, a room that rotates, that you enter from this way. Then you can rotate it somehow. I guess if you have to enter it from this way first, then the only way you could rotate it is from its inside. I mean, that would illustrate that the gimmick is rooms that rotate, at least. But it would also... I would have to figure out how Unity would like me... I would have to figure out how to make Unity like me. No, I would have to figure out if Unity would like the moving platforms that I'm standing on. I think that kind of thing is supposed to be innate in the More Mountains top-down engine that I'm using. But so is inventories, and that part is confusing me so damn badly right now. Like, so damn badly. So damn bad, boy. It's so damn bad, boy. It's so damn bad, boy. I don't know. Well, get another non-nogram. Actually, maybe a different one. How about some pipes? This is it's a small, easy size, so it's okay to look at pipes. Let's do a 7x7. Those ones have a bit more meat to them. And that has to be the shape facing that way. This has to be facing this way. You can tell because at the edge there's nowhere for them to go. Unless you're playing Warp. Which I'm not. But what about... I guess this makes sense. What do you happen? What makes you happen? Okay, we got there. And it took us a minute. 5 of those, and we'll have met quota, or whatever. Oh, there's the ads that I'm not blocking. Because you, Puzzles website, are the only motherfucker I respect enough to let have my ad revenue. Fuck every other website. Every other website go to hell. Every other website go to hell. Every other website go to jail. Every other website die 1,000 deaths. Fingers. Ah. Whoops. So what else should I do? I should like definitely think of streaming, like, I mean, yawned. The game dev streams are good. They, like, you know, I get to be productive on 2 things at once, my game and my YouTube channel, and that's good. Or, I guess, Twitch channel, whatever, who cares? I do upload the VODs, but, like, I should totally consider, like, editing down highlights of VODs or whatever. I should also consider finding games to stream, you know, as a player instead of a maker. But what would I stream? See, I've been playing a lot of Pokopia recently, but I don't know if that's the kind of game that, like, I would be able to be entertaining during. I mean, then again, maybe if I have more funny cookies. I only have so many of them at a time. By which I mean there's, like, 5 in a container. Part of me did want to, like, stream Bravely Default, and apparently that's on Steam now. I would also probably want to figure out how to stream Final Fantasy IV Heroes of Light and Bravely Second if I decided to start doing that and make it like a big thing. Well, let me look through my files and see what, like, games I have downloaded. Oh, you know, I also wanted to think of, like, a stream series of Dwarf Fortress. I don't know if that's something that's, like, feasible. Like, that could go boring. But if it doesn't, it would be fun. Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks? My World, My Way? I heard about that game from a Tumblr post. There was also, like, the desire to explore more monster collecting games that aren't Pokemon. And there's also the desire to, like, make some monster collecting that aren't quite Pokemon. It would probably happen later down the line of this, because I want to, like, you know, I would probably be using a more mountains engine, but I would want to, you know, this will help me get experience before I do that. But, like, it does seem like people enjoy watching other people design fake bond dexes, so I could do that. I probably have to do some kind of weird intro, though, so that everybody's on the same page about it being not quite pokey. Well, that's okay. That's okay for now. That was a nice little stream where I did things online for anybody to see. For everybody to see. Everybody has to see this. Or else something scary. Or else something scary will happen. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's like actually like that bad or that scary, you know. It's just like you'll just have a chance of experiencing something. It could be like good type of scary, maybe it's like a scary movie that you end up liking, or maybe you're scared of something that isn't actually that bad, but it will scare you unless you watch my content. All I ask is for you to be scared. Whatever. Can we end stream? Okay. Bye.